Alright, so it's September 3rd or the 2nd. It's on a Saturday. Today we're going to talk about heroism. So what is heroism? Or what is a hero? A hero could be a comic character or an actor portraying a hero in some kind of movie, right? Like what you see on the screen. Could be Spider-Man, could be Superman, Captain America, the Green Lantern, the Hulk, Wonder Woman, those type of characters. But unfortunately, they're not real. They're just fictional. But I think we're losing what defines a hero, especially in this new age that we're entering, especially when it comes to the new generation of young people that are coming through, especially the millennials. Mostly the ones that are leaning towards the left or the progressives. They're losing touch at what a hero truly is. Like, I'll give you an example. Like when Caitlyn Jenner and Jason Collins first came out of the closet. You know, one's a trans and the other one's gay. I'm sorry. Being who you are in America is what America's all about. It's not heroic to be who you are publicly are. I'm glad for those two if they feel they will live a happier life now, but it does not make you a hero to be who you are. How is that even heroic, anyways? So Collins and Jenner are heroes because one is gay and the other is a trans? I just don't get it. Can anybody help me understand that? It seems like our standard for heroism has dropped significantly since Normandy, 9/11, the 2004 tsunami, and other horrific events where people risk their own lives in order to help others in need. What am I missing here? Man, they're sure doing a great job brainwashing them in college now. Gender studies and other humanities that are being studied in college. What other kind of BS are they feeding them over there? But anyways, older folks like me, I've always understood what real heroism is. I mean, there's ways of defining it. But what is a hero? I mean, for many, it's a person noted for courageous acts and nobility of character. A hero or a heroine is a real person or main character of literary work who, in the face of danger, combats adversity through feats of ingenuity, bravery, or strength. Another way to define them, probably in the simplest terms, what a hero means to me. A hero can also be someone who given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. I think that sums it up. It epitomizes what a hero is. So without further ado, let's look at some heroes here that I had prepared. Let's go with Diane Fossey. To the younger generation, you'd be like, "What? Who the hell is she?" Well, this youngsters and feminists and progressives, all the millennials, this is who a heroine looks like. Diane Fossey. They made a movie out of her, and I think she passed away or she got killed in 1985. Yeah, 1985. She was a primatologist, a conservationist known for undertaking extensive study of mountain gorilla groups from 1966 until her death in 85. She fell in love with the species, and in the end she did everything that she could to protect them. Despite her failing health, her undying determination, she put everything that she could possibly have. And she ended up being murdered for that. That is what a heroine looks like in my book. Another hero. California father dies after saving his 5-year-old daughter from drowning when their kayak overturned. 40-year-old Roni Estuardo Avila Alvarado of San Francisco. I'll sort of be skimming through quickly, not to take too much time, hopefully. The dad and daughter were kayaking in an area 3 miles slow in the Brennan Island State Park where a tragic incident happened. Sacramento County Sheriff spokesman Sergeant Tony Turnbull confirms in a press release sent to People. On January 25th, the dad jumped in the water after the kayak overturned. They both immediately went underwater and neither were wearing life jackets. That's a bad move. According to the press relief, witnesses saw Alvarado surface with the daughter held her above water. A good Samaritan on jet ski rushed over to grab the daughter and brought her back to shore. Unfortunately, Alvarado went underwater and never resurfaced. Self-sacrifice for the greater good to save a loved one. Rest in peace, Pops. That is a hero. That is what defines a hero. Salt Lake City, a mother. A mother was enjoying a family boat trip across Lake Powell when she heard a scream and splash. Her 2-year-old son had slipped off their houseboat and into the water. Chelsea Russell, 35-year-old mother of 2 from Lakewood, Colorado, jumped in to rescue her son. She managed to keep the toddler above water for 5 minutes. 5 agonizing minutes until a relative pulled him safely back into the boat. But by that point, Russell was unconscious. She was literally staying alive as long as she could just to keep her little boy above water. What kind of strength does that take to do? To hold your breath that long, to the point where she was unconscious. She was pulled from the water and rushed ashore at nearby marina where bystanders and officials performed CPR Tuesday afternoon. After about 30 minutes, they determined they couldn't save the woman who just rescued her son. Rest in peace, mother. Again, this is what defines heroism, her actions, her self-sacrifice. That is a hero in every respect of the word. And let's look at this one. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Liang Yaoi. Little Chinese boy. His wish came true on the last day of his life. So we'll go back to this picture in a few. 11-year-old wish to give the gift of life to others came true on the last day of his life. The photograph above shows doctors bowing to Liang Yaoi, a gifted student from Shenzhen, China, who died from a brain tumor in June. His mother can be seen crying in the background. This is the little boy right here. Guess on his last day. Liang was diagnosed with a tumor at the age of 9, just after he moved to Shenzhen to join his brother and sister and to attend primary school. Shenghua Daily reports. One day he felt dizzy, and the next day he had trouble walking, so his sister took him to the hospital, where he learned he had a brain tumor. Before passing away on June 6th, Liang told his mother, Li Kun, that he wanted to donate his organs. There are many people doing great things in this world, he said, according to China Today. They are great, and I want to be a great kid too. CCTV News reported that Liang also said it was also a chance for him to be alive in another way. Very true. Liang's teacher said he may have learned of organ donation by reading stories in school textbook. Liang's mother honored his wishes, and were able to save his kidneys, liver for donation. The picture has created a firestorm within Chinese media outlets and Reddit, where users comment on the beauty of the photo, the strength of Liang, and importance of organ donations. Here the picture is of Liang's desk. Is placed in the first row in classroom, but his chair will be empty forever. Going back to this photo, after the organs were pulled out of his body, the doctors bow in reverence to cancer victim. They bow down in deep respect for this little boy. Again, is this a hero? Absolutely. My respect to him. I can't even convey my respect to him. Arlen D. Williams Jr. 1982 Air Florida Flight 90 smashed nose first into the rock-solid ice covering in the Potomac River just outside Washington, D.C. So this helicopter crashed, not the helicopter, the airliner. It lost control on an icy day, and it crashed into the river. Out of the 70 passengers, only 6 came out. They were just swimming up. Everybody died on impact. And 6 managed to swim up, passing their loved ones, the people that were sitting by next to them. They somehow survived the impact. But they all suffered horrific injuries, broken bones, ribs, and whatnot. And keep in mind that the river, like the picture is shown right there, is a frozen river. You can't possibly imagine the pain they must have felt. Incomprehensible. So, 6 survivors. Everything looked bleak. 20 minutes have passed by, 20 minutes plus maybe. If you guys have a chance, read this article. A helicopter finally came. They threw a life-saving ring, a lifesaver, with a rope attached to it. The first person was rescued, and they came back after they pulled the person to safety, barely. They threw the ring again. It landed in the hands of this one gentleman, described as being bald, maybe a little older, right? But instead of being pulled to shore or accepting the ring so they could save their life, he passed it on to another person. He kept repeating this over and over again. Until the rest were saved. 5 of them were saved. When the helicopter didn't understand why he was doing this, after the 5th person was taken ashore, came back to come and get him, and he was gone. He gave it away when he knew it was his last chance to live. He must have known, because when the chopper thundered back seconds later, he was gone. The man in the water had vanished beneath the ice. Well, who was he? Long story short, they found out who he was. His name was Arlen D. Williams Jr. Goes on to say this part: the science of self-sacrifice. Heroism is one of the last remaining riddles of human behavior when it comes to root causes, rational explanations. Heroism is as baffling as its evil twin, brutality. Actually, psychopaths are slightly more transparent than heroes. We've at least figured out that what makes a psychopath so dangerous is the psychological disconnect and lack of caring for anyone but himself. Extreme heroism springs from something that no scientific theory can fully explain. It's illogical impulse that flies in the face of biology, psychology, actuarial statistics, and basic common sense. Anyone who read news stories about drownings at the beach and corpses pulled from the smoky rubble knows that in many cases, heroes tend to bump up the body count. The rescuers are likely to die as the people they are trying to rescue. What was he thinking? As he was feeling all that pain, sub-zero temperatures. Has anybody ever swam a frozen river? I have. Well, it wasn't freezing, but it was freshly melted snow. And let me tell you, I was only able to stay there a good 3 minutes until it started to hurt. It was painful. Clearly, we're not made to swim in the ice like that. Unless you're somebody, a superhuman named Wim Hof, or one of his advanced students, then you could probably do it. What was he thinking as he handed the ring to the last person before he sank into the water? Right here, survival of the selfish. Even Charles Darwin, the human decoder ring of the bizarre behavior, found the idea of saving a stranger's life to be a total head scratcher. This is way before this event took. I guess he was writing about this. He who was ready to sacrifice his life, as many a savage has been, rather than betray his comrades, would often leave no offspring to inherit his noble nature, observed Darwin, who consequently couldn't figure out how to crowbar heroism into survival of the fittest theory. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Die for your own kids, perfectly logical. According to Darwin, you're the only reason to exist is to pass your genes along to the next generation, but to die for rivals' kids, it seems totally counterproductive no matter how many viral, healthy heroes you bore. It would take just one selfish with a hearty, oh, I guess I have the killer cat here. Let me close the door here. One of my cats opened the door. It disrupted my train of thought. Very interesting article on the topic of heroism. Okay, what a hero leaves behind. So when the life ring fell into the Arlen's hands, something irresistible might have clicked inside. Beneath his happy-go-lucky, get-along exterior, perfect hero lurked a small-town guy who also been drilled in the Citadel's band of brotherhood ethic, which was always take care of your people first. Frank Webster recalls of their Citadel training. That's an unbreakable code. You go last, your people go first. Chubb, which was his nickname, didn't have to see the survivors across the wreckage from him to know they weren't strangers. To him, they were family. Let's take a look at this man. That was him. Right here you see some shots of that fateful day. That's just insane. That's an actual photo, people, of the people being pulled out of the ice. Can't even imagine what they were feeling. So in this little photo dedicated to him, it says Arlen D. Williams Jr. was aboard Air Florida Flight 90 when freezing weather hampered the plane's ascent from Washington National Airport on January 13, 1982. It crashed into the 14th Street Bridge above the Potomac River, killing 68 passengers and 4 motorists on impact. Williams was among 6 survivors who remained alive in the frigid waters as rescue helicopter struggled to save them. William repeatedly passed the lifeline to others, helping to save everyone but himself. By the time the helicopter returned for him, the final survivor, he had disappeared into the icy water. Williams received numerous posthumous awards for his heroic efforts, including the renaming of the bridge in his honor. How do we honor heroes like these people that we talked about? It doesn't make sense why so much attention, so much money is given to these celebrities. Most of them are pretty useless. They don't do anything for anybody. Yet you have human beings like this helping people every day who receive absolutely no recognition. And believe it or not, some of them just don't want it. For the ones that lose their lives in the process of trying to help others, how do we honor them? How would you honor them? You do it by remembering them and by following their example. Live for them. Learn from them. And try be like them.